What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and then we're intending our Let's Build a Medieval Village in Minecraft. This is episode number 11. I can't count. I read the number that I saw, and it wasn't the right one. It has been since November of 2021. I mean, well, obviously, I don't think it'd be 2020. But it's been a good 4 months. Oh, no, 3.5. We'll say 3. We'll say 3. But we are back. Actually, it'll be closer to 3.5 by the time you're seeing this, so whatever. But I want to discuss the plans with this, and this is what I want to work on today. I want to kind of ignore all these houses, because these are like whatever. Also, these are very, very outdated. Are they? Well, are they outdated? 100%. Okay. And here's this, by the way, blacksmith, which is what we did last time we were here, in case anyone forgot, which you probably did, because it's been way too frickin' long. But this is going to be a castle. What exactly are my plans for the castle? I am not sure. So what I am thinking is, I don't know why the terracotta is there, I think that was just a placeholder block, but, well, let me just connect point A to point B real quick. This will be the castle. I think I want to start having plans for how big I want this castle to be, and whether or not this area is going to be big enough for what I want. Now, of course it's 2 blocks off. Why wouldn't it be? So, okay, that's enough, probably enough space left to right. Obviously, we're going to have to go back more. I'm going to actually just fill this in with stone real quick while I talk about this. So, I want to kind of have, like, walled off castle. Oh, maybe not walled off. I want to have the castle, and then I want to have it have a courtyard almost at the front, where it's walled in, and it looks like it's part of the build, but it has like an open ceiling almost. That's the plan. Kind of like a horse stable area. Maybe I have like horse stable, farm, whatever, something like that. Probably not exactly that. That was just an example. But that I think is something that I want to do. And then maybe have like some towers or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% positive. I'm not a very good castle builder, so this might be a little bit of a weird process. And I think I'll do it on stream because I can get some help with it there. But yeah, and also the other problem is that I have stone, and I don't necessarily know how I want to contrast the stone from the other gray. Because castles are gray, and this mountain is gray. So, I can add some greenery to the mountain, maybe some vines and bushes and leaves and stuff, something like that. I think that seems like probably the best idea, just to add some greenery, just kind of break it up. And maybe add a base layer to the castle, like spruce or something, just to give it a divider, and just kind of, you know, give it contrast. That's kind of what the big thing is. If you've watched any of my tutorials, or if you've watched some of my, I guess not older tutorials, but like beginning of this year, end of last year tutorials. I'll say more so end of last year. I talked about that a lot, the contrast and stuff. Like, you gotta have it right. And I probably talked about it in the, yeah, I did talk about it in the building tips video. Why did my voices go away? Sorry, I recorded a video right before this one, that might be why, but I stream for longer and talk just as much. I don't know. But yeah, so that's always a big thing, especially when you're working on a built surface, on a manually terrained surface. You gotta kind of like make it work, especially because I made it all gray. Now, again, there's some things I can do, and also a pathway up is another thing that I need to consider, because obviously I can't build the castle right at the front. I think the castle is probably going to sit right at the edge of this area. That seems like a fair assumption. But because what do I want to do with the path? Do I want to have it curve? Do I want to have it go straight through the middle? Do I want to have it stick out the front? There's a lot of options. Bridge, maybe bridge. Like a castle's moat. I could even add a moat up here. That's another possibility. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are like pumping through my mind right now. Like, how exactly do I want to approach this? Now, you can't necessarily just go look at something like this and be like, well, one sec, my brain just like turned off. You can't just like go look at something and be like, well, let's just do it, especially with something big. I mean, I do that a lot. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm guilty of it. I think if you have something that you're directly going off of, you don't need plans. But if you're freehanding it, for the most part, you want to have a general layout. So you can get a gist of how big you want it. Now, for me, I normally, like with tutorials, I'm not doing this because I don't need to, because I already know the general size that I want. But with something larger like this, you have to take it step by step and kind of figure out, okay, what sections are going to be this, what sections are going to be this, stuff like that. Just like little things are kind of what's big. I think in this, I kind of want to start to figure out where I want the start of this to be, and how I want the path to go up. I think those are the two biggest things for me right now. Also, hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I kind of am. It's 4:50 and I am, like, freaking energy, I don't know. But yeah, so my question now is, we have the gravel here. Okay, that's interesting. I forgot I did that, because we have, like, it's a very, very light gradient, but if you step back, you can really see it. You can see how the top's a dark gray, the middle's a lighter gray, and the bottom's like a grainy gray. Which I guess it's weird. It's like an off tint almost. It almost looks like purplish. Or I'm colorblind, I can't tell. It's definitely not purple, but you get the general point. Like, it looks a little, like, off tint. So do I want the path to stick out and go up like this? Obviously not exactly like this, but you get the general point. Or do I want a bridge? I think a bridge would be probably our best bet. But the only problem with that is, since this path is slanted, it has to line up in a certain way. And then the rest of the path, I guess, just goes down. Let me play with this for a sec. Let me figure this out. Because, okay, if I want it not there. Actually, that's probably gonna not be gravel anymore at the end of this, so let's say I go 2s. 2s seems like a fair assumption to make. That's gonna go out way too far. Maybe? I don't want it going... Yeah, that's probably gonna be too far. I think I'm gonna have to go with 1s. Because I'm already looking at that. That's not that far down out of the distance that we have, and I don't really want it encroaching on that too much. Sorry. I was waiting for that. Again, I don't mention it and it happens, but if I mention it, it doesn't. I don't know. So, how do I want this to go? And is this going to be too much of an incline? That's the other thing that's going to be a concern, because if this has too much of an incline, then we're going to have to do some weird things with it. I think that'll be okay. Because, okay, well, I'm looking at that now, and I'm thinking, if I did the 2s, it's gonna be double, so that's gonna be, you're talking probably out to about here. So, I should have considered this. Now, I can break into the mountain. That's an interesting thought. Like, if I start there, maybe even 1 block more forward. I'm not gonna do it in line, because then that's... Wait, I didn't even put it another block for it. I'm such a genius. Yeah, and then if I do that sort of an incline, what is this going to give us? It's definitely gonna go lower. We can already see that very clearly, because it's already lower. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Probably. How many blocks down is that? Well... Let's see where this would end up. I'm kind of curious where this would end up now. Because if this is, you're talking like 20 blocks, it's not going to be 20 blocks in, but if it's 20 blocks in, then I don't want to do this. But if it's like, I think I can live with this. I think I can live with, can I live with that? See, because that's, now you're looking at that and you're like, okay, yeah, that would have been really far forward. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'll push it forward a block here, though. Because then it'll be right on the edge, and I guess that's something interesting and cool, or something like that. I don't know. But, like, again, this is also one of the things when you're building something like this. It's like, okay, so you want to figure out each individual dimension. That's also the harder thing with building in survival, and why you see a lot of, like, larger creators, whenever they're going to make a big project, you see them kind of prototype it in creative. And maybe make small changes to it where they say needed and stuff, because it's, if you go into something blind like I kind of am right now, then it's gonna be a little bit more of an issue, because especially, like, I guess in this situation it doesn't matter as much because I'm in creative and I have more room to screw up or whatever. But when you're in like a survival type setting, it's like, well, you make a mistake, good luck. If it's something that if you get like halfway through and you're like, I don't like this, then you're done. You're gonna have to deal with it, and that's kind of something with it. Like, that's also why you see like red wool and stuff be used as planning. I think I might try and figure out if I can use it, or see if I can find a tiled block, because then I can have a center that is easier. What? That is more easily found. There we go. I don't know what I was. No, okay, that's. There's gonna be, I think, one time a video where I say something that just that just confuses me. That's that time. I'm due for at least one a video. Or something very, very quote-worthy. That also happens a lot. Alright, so that's gonna cover that up, so we don't have too much to worry about with it. But we do kind of want to figure out, because now we're getting this point where we're like, okay, barriers aren't necessarily a problem, although this is a very big bridge. That is an interesting, okay. But like, this point where it's like, that's kind of interesting, or not, it's kind of weird, because it goes so, what's the word, what's the, like, thing that I'm trying to say here? Because it goes like right up against the top of that. So do I want to extend that little section up by maybe even just half a block? Oh, but I gotta stare there. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. I think it's fine. Let me actually like take a step back and see. That goes too far forward though. Because it... What my problem is right here is... We have something that it's taking away from the hang on. It's taking away from the mountain part itself. And I don't want that. I want it to blend with the mountain. Maybe the color doesn't help. If I use stone, but like if you're looking at it like this, it's like, okay, yeah, the bridge is directly in front of you and it kind of looks like it's the front and center piece. If I can start it like here and then curl it into the mountain and go around the side. That's somewhere. That's some sort of thought process. But how is that going to work in the retrospect of... Hang on. How's that going to work in the retrospect of how the inside's going to look? Because then that's going to have some really awkward placing, because it's going to be such a smooth cut if I do that. Well, let me figure out how I want the castle to be first. Let me figure out what I want the entrance to be. If the entrance is going to be here, we'll say. Right there. I think it's 5 is how big that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be like the entrance. I kind of want a grand entrance of some sort. Maybe I make it even like a block wider on either side. And I want the entrance to be something that also pops. When you look at the castle, I want you to see entrance, and I want the towers to also stick out. Like maybe it's something like this. Let me just, it's not gonna be out of red final as a final. It's just, this is just me kind of mapping out my thoughts of what the general look should be like. Like, yeah, that's an okay arch. That's not my greatest work, but you know, you get the point. And then maybe I have this stick out of maybe, yeah, we'll go with that. And then we'll have like walls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then one of the sides, which side do I have more space on? I have more space on that side. So this isn't actually centered. Which I think I actually like that, because if it's not centered, then it gives it a little bit more character to it. But also, if I make it big enough, it's going to overhang off the edge, which also is going to be fine. I think that might, again, also add some character to it. We'll see. It's a process. But like now it's. Let me turn this back down. How much time do I have left on our timer? 8:45. Who commented? Okay. I saw a comment and I was like, wait, is that a username I recognize? And I was trying to see if it was, but it wasn't. Which is always nice. I enjoy, obviously, having, you know, good old, same old, because I'm not gonna get abandoned, but, you know. Also, love seeing new faces. Pretty epic. But, yeah. I think now the question is gonna be, how will the path be? I want to focus on that. I don't want to ask about, or I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what English is. Hang on. I don't want to like there. How would that do? Because then it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2. Then it'd be 1 off the top at the top, right? So I think. Let me see how far this would stick forward. I'm not gonna use stone. I'm gonna use red concrete. I've gotta do this. This is not fun. And then like, because this is going to be half the incline. Half the incline, but it's gonna give, I think, the same effect for an incline. That's my plan. I could go 3. I could go 3, and I might go 3. How does that stick against it? Now, see, that almost blends too much, because it's gravel on gravel. If I did 3s, how far would that stick forward? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'd be there. I don't want it that far forward. I definitely don't want it that far forward. Okay. I'm talking very fast. Again, I'm sorry. If you watch the Caves and Cliffs videos, was Caves and Cliffs Survival, which I don't know if I actually posted it yet. I talked about how I had too much sugar at once, and I'm still having that issue because same day. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna eat a ton of sugar and then record back-to-back videos, because that sounds like a good idea. Don't do that, by the way, it's a terrible idea. But, I feel fine right now from it, but, like, in, like, a couple hours, I'm probably not gonna, not gonna like that decision. But, who cares? Who cares at this point? These are the risks or sacrifices we take to make videos. I can just break the red concrete. I'm so dumb. I don't need to break the gravel. It's gonna fall into the same spot, not onto the same spot. I guess yes, onto the same spot. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna try the gravel in the entirety of its form. That was what? Okay, wait. Where does that? Oh, so see, that's interesting. I'm glad I checked what I was doing there, because now it's centered to this side more. That was kind of lucky. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered necessarily. I really didn't ask. It wouldn't have mattered necessarily. It's just like, I'm just glad I didn't tear down that entire thing just to realize that it wasn't the part I needed to tear down. Oh, what did this look like? Oh, that's painful. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna ignore it. It didn't happen. You can stay there, I guess. Stare. You'll live to see another day. Cherish it, I guess. I don't know. That wasn't what I meant to do. There's still a piece of white concrete powder in the Little Nightmares 2 world that I accidentally dropped off the edge. And I'm sure there's tons of pieces of sand in that world, too. But if you, in the time-lapse, I genuinely, like, I accidentally, like, misplaced it, and I just watched it fall, and then carried on with my day, and pretended like it didn't happen. It was pretty funny, I think. I don't know. It's not funny to laugh at your own jokes. Just remember that. Or quote yourself. That's more of a Discord thing, though. Because, people on Discord enjoy quoting themselves and think it's funny. I'm just gonna be honest, it isn't. Like, Who wants to log on to Discord just to see someone quoted themselves saying something really cringe, you know? Who wants to do that? So now this is where the gravel, like, this is where I question the gravel, and I'm like, well, do I want to keep this gravel? Or do I want to do something like stone brick? Because stone brick would look man-made. Now then that gives me the option for slabs, and then I would be tempted to use slabs, but I don't want to use slabs. So... I don't know. I think that's fine. And then let me just, like, fill in these gaps that I have here, because gaps are bad. I think I'm just gonna replace this part with, like, stone blocks, probably. That seems like a fair thing to just assume to do. Assume to? Sure. We'll go with it. We'll just pretend like that was 100% what I meant to say the entire time. And wasn't just me not remembering how to speak. Yeah, that looks natural enough, doesn't it? Mine is the red concrete, yeah. What's our timer at? 3 minutes. Okay. Now, I gotta frickin' move this thing over. Okay, wait, where's the center of this? Here's the center of that, here's the center of that. I'm gonna move it another block forward, just so I know what I'm doing with myself. Oh, it's 1 block off. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be, you know? Why can't I just have it, like, right for once? Come on. 2 and then 1s. I like that more than I should. I like that way more than I should. Looking like a McDonald's M over here, but it's okay. Really not a single block thought it'd be nice to line up for me? Of course. Bruh. Maybe I don't need to push that back, who am I kidding? I do need to have that block there, though, that I accidentally destroyed. Alright, so we're gonna go with 11 again, because I can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, what's nice about what I did was I now have a flat surface to work with. Which is actually gonna be in midair for now. But that's fine. And then I think it's easier to, if you're self-terraining, I think it's easier to start with a flat surface and then rough it up. Because then you don't have to figure out, like, okay, well, that's going to be ground level or whatever, because I know what ground level is right now. And then I can go back and rough it all up and make it look like it kind of blends in with the terrain, instead of the terrain blending in with it, if that makes sense. It sort of means the same thing, but not really. So, how do I want the entrance to look, though? Because now my problem is, okay, if I want a castle... what do I want the front wall to look like? And, like, okay. I think I want this to be the wall. 11, 12, 13. And then I'm going to have a tower here that sticks out. Maybe 4. 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe? And then the other side, I'm not going to have a tower there. Do I want it that close to the entrance? Let me keep building. Let me keep building. Okay, so that's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And then I'll just add the 40 on the other side. So this should be 11 right now, correct? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Find it's easy to count when you don't talk out loud with it. Why did that scare me? That was not funny. Okay. And then I need something on this wall if I have a tower on that wall, though. That's my issue. I don't want it to be symmetrical, though. That's the thing that I want to avoid, but, like, at the same time, it's like, well... 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Not... No. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 1, 2... Is that going to line it up? Let me figure that out in my head. No, not in my head. Let me figure it out with actual blocks. That would probably be smarter. 3, 4, 5, and that would be 1, 2, 1, 2... And then there it would go back. Am I okay with that? Do I want that slightly smaller? I think I do. I think it was better to go with the corners like I was originally going to go with, but I didn't think the corners would be good because I wanted it larger, but apparently I didn't want it larger. Cool. If that didn't make any sense, essentially I just second-guessed myself, and I made the wrong decision by doing so. Okay, let me just, like, do that again real quick. That's better. That doesn't pop out too much. Do I want it to... No, I do want it to go out more, don't I? Because, okay, if I have it, we'll say 1, 2, then I go 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That actually lines up kind of nicely for my skills, so, not skills. Anything but skills are happening right now. Utter confusion is what's happening. Okay, 2, and then there, and I'll just build it the same distance back as I can. I'm changing it by 1. I'm changing it by 1. If it doesn't look good at 1, I'm just gonna cry. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause at that point, I'm out of luck. All right, let's see. Let's see, boys. How's it looking? I think I did that wrong. Pretty sure I did that wrong. No, I didn't. That's, I think, better. Yeah, because that pops enough, but doesn't pop too much. Which is what we're going for here. So it was 1... 1... Okay, I forgot which way it curved for some reason. And then, yeah, this gets very close to the edge, which is actually what I want. I want it to look like it takes up as much space as possible. I want the castle to dominate the mountain, but I still want the mountain to be, like, a factor, if you understand what I'm saying with that. Like, if you look at this right now, look at how much space that takes up. I have all of this space, too. I'm going to add a front area, probably. But look at how much space that takes up. You know what? What if I did it diagonally? Definitely outside of my skill range, but also, like, I'm not liking the way that... Like, an unnatural curve is nice, but the way that it comes up so much there and is so far back on that side, I'm not so sure I like. But if I build it diagonally, it's all going to go downhill real quick. So, just, we'll figure it out next episode. But, okay, so I'm thinking this is just going to be like a little tower or something. That seems fair. And then I'll do something. We're going to add... This is going to be built up probably not even next episode. I think next episode... Glad this is finally back, by the way. Probably next episode we're going to keep working on the mountain in the form of a stream. That seems like a fair assumption to make. But, yeah, I think that is where I'm going to end this video. That was not a lot of work, but it was a lot... It's not a lot of work. It doesn't look like a lot. Like, put it down on paper, it looks like nothing. But... breaking it down, it was more than it seems like it should have been. Because planning is hard. Planning is probably the most time-consuming step. In comparison to the amount of progress that you make of actually placing things down. Because you gotta figure out... Because that's why also planning is nice. You gotta, like, figure out, okay, this is roughly how big I want this. And obviously when you put down plans, there are gonna be points when you alter it. I think I want a general plan of how big I want this castle to be at first. I think I want to start building the mountain back, and then I can figure out, okay, where does this mountain want to curve back in and go around at the back? It's all going to be, like, way down the road. I think this is what I want to start working on the next 5-10 episodes, probably, and at least get a plan down and something where I can look and be like, okay, I understand what this is supposed to be. And then we can worry about actual stuff about it later. I think also, if next episode we're going to build this back and kind of figure it out, and also figure out how tall we want it. That's another thing that's going to be important. But I think that's all. So if you guys did enjoy this video, let me know what you guys think of the plan so far, and let me know if you have any suggestions for anything to do with this, even involving block palettes and stuff. Everything right now, I think, in a planning stage, you kind of want to start to lay out those things and get a rough idea of what you want in your head, and if I get any help with that, I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, have a fantastic dinner, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.